Proceed.
Thank you. Today, the Republican majority is not judging the president with fairness, but impeaching him with a vengeance. In the investigation of the president, fundamental principles which Americans hold dear, privacy, fairness, checks and balances, have been seriously violated. And why? Because we are here today because the Republicans in the House are paralyzed with hatred of President Clinton, and until the Republicans free themselves of this hatred, our country will suffer.
Are we going to have a new test? If someone wants to run for public office, are you now, or have you ever been an adulterer? We are losing sight of the distinction between sins, which ought to be between a person and his family and his God, and crimes, which are the concern of the state and of society as a whole.
To me, this seems like the dumbing down of impeachment. It takes what the Founding Fathers regarded as a very serious and solemn process and makes it somewhat frivolous. Because as a result of a finding of fact, you would come to the anomalous situation that the president, they would say, committed crimes, but shouldn't be removed from office.
I rise to oppose these unfair motions which call for the removal of the President of the United States from office, and in doing so wish to point out some differences between the investigation of the President and the investigation of Newt Gingrich.
On one level, we could say, I suppose, that you reap what you sowed. That gives us no joy. It gives me no joy.
Where do we go from here? We will go to the floor of the House of Representatives to debate this issue. It is going to be a nasty debate. It will be a debate about sex. It will be a debate about the private affair of the president. It will be a debate about the extramarital affair. It will be a debate that the American public may not necessarily want to hear. But they have been thrust into this debate by members of this House and the Republican Party who are intent and who will stop at nothing to bring down the President of the United States of America.
But that gives us no joy. It gives me no joy. And I wish that Mr. Livingston would reconsider, because I don't think that on the basis of what we know, he should resign. But I don't think...
Time of the gentleman has expired.
30 seconds.
I yield the gentleman an additional 30 seconds.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you. But the impeachment of the president is even worse, because again we're losing we're losing track of the distinction between sins and crimes. We're lowering the standard of impeachment. What the president has done is not a great and dangerous offense to the safety of the republic. In the words of George Mason, it is not an impeachable offense under the meaning of the Constitution. And as you heard from Mr. Conyers, the allegations are far, far from proven. And the fact is, we are not simply transmitting a case with some evidence to the Senate, as evidenced by the fact that we already heard leaders of this House say he should resign. God forbid that he should resign. He should fight this and beat it.
I guess the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
My last election, yeah. After my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah. And I trust you. Vladimir understands.